There's the submandibular gland right there. Nice. This might even be... This is what's left of his parotid duct coming across his masseter muscle. Remember?
Yep.
Parotid gland, parotid duct, submandibular gland, and submandibular duct. How about that? But I digress. Okay. So, make sure what station you're at. If they're asking you for arteries or veins, okay, check that out first so you know what you're looking for. The veins are all filled with the blue latex. The arteries are all filled with the pink latex. Okay, so we'll start with the major vein in the body. Right here, this is the superior vena cava, right above the heart. Superior vena cava. This first little branch here with all this crap attached to it. Right here is the mammary vein. Okay, the one right on the front. Oh, right there is the mammary vein. If we pull this out of the way, push this lung back a little bit, you can see this vein coming around from behind. That's the azygos vein. Okay, so azygos, superior vena cava, mammary. Get that out of the way. Now we see the vena cava makes this big V. These are the brachiocephalic veins right here and right here until they branch again. You can see it on this side. See how it's branching again?
Yep.
This branch is going to come up here. Come up here. This big branch right here comes up. This is a jugular. Okay? So these branches right here come up this way. These are the jugular veins. Okay? The other branch off there goes this way out to the arms. And right up here, when it's under the clavicle, it's the subclavian vein. When it's down in the armpit, it's the axillary vein. When it's out on the arm, wherever that is, out on the arm, is the brachial vein. When it's on the radius, it's the radial vein. Okay? Same tube, different name as it changes anatomical location. All right, so again, superior vena cava, mammary, azygos, brachiocephalic, jugular, subclavian vein, axillary vein, brachial vein, radial vein. Okay? Then it tells you to look for some hepatic veins. So here's our inferior vena cava right below the heart here, coming out on this side. And we have some great big, that's why we have to kind of peel away some of this liver here. Okay, you can see these great big veins here and here. Those dump right into that vena cava. Okay, so those are your hepatic veins. Now if we go in here, down the abdomen, this right here is the adrenal vein, goes to the adrenal gland.
I see it good on this one.
Yeah, this is not bad. This is the adrenal vein. Okay. This big one right here is going to the kidney, so that's a renal vein. Branching off the left renal vein here, we have this fairly large vein. This is a gonadal vein, and this happens to be a female cat. So this would be going over to the ovary. This is a gonadal vein off the renal vein on this side. The gonadal vein on the other side used to be right here, right there. It's a little gonadal vein. On the other side, it comes right off the vena cava to the gonads. But don't worry about it, it's not that. Okay? So renal, adrenal, gonadal. Then we come down here, we follow this vein down. Down here in the lumbar region of the back, we have two little, see, this cat's anatomy is different. Look where this splits. The split is way up here instead of down here.
From the other.
Yep, the veins on the cat can be in different places, so that's why it's a little tricky. But anyway, so down here we have a branch on this side, and we have a branch on this side. Those are the iliolumbar veins down in the lower lumbar region of the back, right? And then this split right here, this vein here and this vein here, those are the iliac veins. And those go for the legs. And when we come out, we follow those out to the legs. The largest vein in the leg is the femoral vein. Okay? So that split there goes out for the femoral veins. Okay? I don't know what that is. All right, now we're going to do arteries. These little bits and pieces laying around. All right. So here's our pericardium. Somebody tore that off. Right there. Okay, so here's our heart. Mess. Here's our heart. Here's our aorta coming out. And we know the aorta arches and then goes down the back. Right? So here it is here, making the arch and going down. Okay? That first big branch off the aorta right here, if you remember from our sheep hearts, that first big branch right here is the brachiocephalic vein, artery. And the brachiocephalic has 3 little branches that comes off of it. Okay, and I gotta pull this vein out of the way so you can see here. Okay, the first 2 branches, which would be this one right here, and then the second one, which is this one right here. Okay, these 2 branches right here off that brachiocephalic are the carotid arteries going up to the brain. Okay, and then there's a 3rd branch, right? Hard to see here. Can you see this one going off to the side here? Right here?
All right.
Okay, so here's your carotid and your carotid. Then we have another branch going off this way. That's the subclavian. That's the right subclavian artery because we're up here under the clavicle. Okay, so again, brachiocephalic is the first branch off the aorta. There's 2 branches off of that, which form the carotid arteries, and the 3rd branch goes this way, which is the subclavian artery. Okay, the second major branch off the aorta, which is this thing, is the left subclavian artery. It's all by itself. It just comes off, right? Subclavian up here, axillary when it's in the armpit, brachial when it's on the arm, radial when it's on the radius, just like the vein. Okay, so again, it's the aorta, brachiocephalic, carotid, subclavian. This is the left subclavian artery, axillary, brachial, radial. Okay, it tells you to look for those vertebral arteries. If we pull this back, you can see these little, what's left of these little threads here, these little pink threads sticking off the aorta. These little bits here. I don't know if you really can see.
it on this one.
Yeah, just these little bits right here.
Yeah.
Those are actually the vertebral arteries, and those are going to run out here onto the ribs and line those subcostal grooves on the ribs. Okay? So then if we follow our aorta down to our abdominal aorta, we don't have a whole lot of mesentery left. Okay, well, this first branch right here, when we get into the abdomen, is called the celiac trunk. It's a trunk because there's 3 main branches off of it. There's a splenic branch, a gastric branch, and a hepatic branch. Okay, it's a celiac trunk. This next big flap in the breeze here is actually the superior mesenteric artery, and that should be attached to the mesentery. Should be attached to your mesentery over here, right, for all these mesentery arteries. But it's not, so that's your superior mesenteric. That's a really large artery right there. There's another mesenteric artery down here, which is still attached right here. That's the inferior mesenteric artery. Okay, so superior is the second one up here, inferior is way down here. Okay? Then, I don't know where it is, but there should be a little adrenal artery running with the adrenal vein. Then there is a renal artery. There's a renal artery that runs with the renal vein. Okay? And then there are gonadal arteries, which are here and here, go into the ovaries. And coming down here, again, these are ripped. See it right there? That's where your iliolumbar arteries should be, running with the iliolumbar veins. Okay? And then we can see here that the aorta splits. Okay? The first big V on the outside are the external iliac arteries. The little V on the inside are the internal iliac arteries. And then right down the middle, you see the artery down the middle there? Comes straight down. I don't know if I can pick up on it. Well, I can't pick up on it because it isn't. Anyway, you see the one going straight down? That's the caudal artery. It's going to the tail. Okay? So if we follow this external iliac artery out to the leg, it's running right alongside the femoral vein, so it must be the femoral artery. Okay, so you want to do this one more time real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we follow our aorta down, first branch is this one right here. That's the celiac trunk. The second branch is the superior mesenteric artery. And we should have a little adrenal artery, whatever, going to the adrenal gland. We have a hepatic artery going to the liver. A renal artery going to the liver. These are gonadal arteries going to the ovaries. These are iliolumbar arteries, lower back. Here are the external iliac arteries, internal iliac arteries, caudal artery, femoral artery. So concentrate on the big ones, the major ones. And if you're confused on what they're asking you on the CAT, you'll have your diagram. Okay?
Okay.